Good morning. Good morning, guys. Curtains are already open. The sun is up, just barely. I'm not wearing Leinster or Ulster gear. I decided to go neutral because this one is a final. Both the jerseys are hanging up. I didn't quite sleep in. Man, my daughter was very restless last night, so this better be a good game or I may nod off. I didn't get much sleep. But Sean, maybe the Mongolian throat singing videos will keep me awake as well. But nah, man, it should be a good one. Mark is a Leinster man. He is probably pretty pumped for this one. Likewise, Joseph, Tim, how's it going? Owen, are they going to throw the ball around? Probably not. Fleishman says, let's hope it's a contest. Ulster by 5, says Tian. That'd be a big result, man. Certainly the underdogs. Certainly the underdogs. Fleishing, good morning. Grant, good morning. Be your first time watching Ulster, Grant. Man, you should have seen the game last week. Hell of a comeback. David says, looking forward to a competitive game. Yes, also, fingers crossed, buddy. I think I would take a game which is a bit of a grind, as long as it's close at the end and there's a bit of tension in the last 5 minutes. Lovely evening for it. That's good news. Hopefully it's not raining, it's not wet ball, and the guys can, chuck it around a bit. Mark's typing out, try. Getting ready for the match. Try to who, though? Could be Ulster tries. Game shouldn't be too far away. They haven't started coverage here yet. They've been showing New Zealand rugby from 2018. Oh, here we go. Coverage is on. Leo, good morning. Good evening where you're at, bro. Hope you're well. Doesn't look like any changes to the announced side. Keenan, Lama, Low, Ringrose, Henshaw, Sullivan, Herring, O'Toole, O'Connor, Ian Henderson. Very important he has a good game. Hit the ground running. Big V8 show, bro. You're not going to make it through the whole game. Surely. Hendo versus Ryan. Absolutely. That's going to be a fantastic one to watch. Just left the Buffalo Irishmen who are all Munster boys and refusing to watch this. Fair enough. Neutral supporter. Pro 14 definitely not going to be competitive, sadly. I hope you're wrong, but you might be right. Gregor Galway. Good evening. Neutral for this one, I take it. Up the Ulsterman says naked ref. I live less than a kilometre from the Aviva. It's a dry evening, a little windy, Scott. Okay, thanks for the info. A little wind we can handle, as long as it's not real wet. Good Ulster team, but the Leinster pack is too strong. Might be right. Big V8 show, late night stream protocols still apply. Yes, we'll give you till half time, and then you need to make yourself scarce. There's the trophy. Pretty sweet looking trophy, to be honest. Bro, they just used the phrase grand final. I didn't know you guys used that in Ireland. I was just moaning about that phrase last night being very Australian. Okay. Interesting. Good to see Madigan playing back in Ireland. Boy, what a game did he have last week. What a game. He's unlucky not to be starting, but I guess if you want someone to add impact from the bench, what better player? I mean, you got Sexton on the other bench, so maybe what better player? Jonathan Sexton. Ringrose captain is interesting. Yeah, man. It's if I read correctly, his first time captaining the side, which is kind of chucked in the deep end for a final. James Ryan, good to see him back. Putting 50 euros on Toner to make 150 meters chances. Slim. We have just kicked off. It is that man Toner who takes the kickoff. In a moment, I'll tell you what time my stream is up to. In case I am ahead of you, you can pause the YouTube stream to make up the time difference so I'm not dropping spoilers every 5 seconds. And my clock is at 25 seconds now. That's your marker. It's because they watched the earlier stream. Now it's grand final all over the place. I know. Goodness me, man. Just to drive me up the wall. Grand final. Otto, evening 2 cents. Let's have an upset tonight. Otto, yeah. I think Ulster would be celebrating pretty heartily if they won a Pro 14 title. Maybe more so than Leinster, who it's kind of become expected. Just Wikipedia, it says grand final is indeed primarily an Australian thing. Well, you've spread the love to Ireland because they've just said this is the grand final. Unless that's associated with Gaelic football. Because you guys said there was an AFL connection for Australia. Yeah, not a great start from Ulster there. Not claiming a high ball. We'll have a scrum. Evening, John. Who do I have for the Champions Cup? I haven't actually seen what the top 14 results have been doing. How's Toulouse going? How's Racing going? Right, first scrum. Leinster feed. Steady, under a little bit of pressure. Evening stand up for the Ulsterman, says Craig. Good evening, sir. Nothing grand about us in the Pro 14. Grand final, it's the Pro 14 World Series. There you go. Not sporting either team's colours. I decided not to because it's a final. I figured I would go neutral. That's probably fair. I had a jersey ready to wear. I won't say which one. But then I decided last minute I will go neutral. Maybe All Blacks in honour of Albie Mathewson. If you can handle a loose connection like that. James, how's it going? Grand final in a league consisting of Welsh, Scottish and Irish teams is definitely not grand, bro. The shots have been fired early. Tim, hello mate, up to Ulster. Craig, I will toast you with my Leinster cup of instant coffee, buddy. Appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well this morning, evening. Go McCloskey. Couldn't get the ball away. I do like McCloskey, I must say. I may be cheering for individuals in this game. Bro. It's going to be a try. What a try. Are you kidding me? 3 minutes in. The grand final has a try. He just kept going. Holy moly. He beat a couple of people. Goodness gracious. Let's go, he says. And yeah, he's right. Let's go. What a start. What a start. Billy Burns is lining up the shot. Just pushed it wide. Jesus, he only 21. Game clock, Big Will. 5 minutes, and we've already got to try. 5 minutes 35. Yeah, I thought you were going to sleep through this one. Great try early to get you out of bed. Try time Ulster, Big Will. There you go, man. It started off all right. What's a try? Your stream is behind mine. Like I said, just pause me so I'm not dropping the I'm not dropping spoilers to make up the difference. I'm at 6:10 now. He missed. I'm happy with that. Yeah, 5-0. Mark, I looked up that SU. That's stand up for the Ulster men, right? Is that like a? I've seen a Munster's got a similar thing to that without the Ulster bit, obviously, right? Promising start to the game, Grant. Yes, indeed. Hell of a start. Good try, Hume looking like a great prospect. Man, he put the hammer down. I thought someone was going to get him. But no. Very well done. Well taken try. He's only 21. Hell of a prospect is right. You had to pause the stream for 2 minutes. Goodness me, Grant. Not ideal. I don't want to ask where you're watching. Ross Burns stabbed a little kick through. It's too big. Out on the full. You're on ESPN Plus and still behind. Oh, I guess because I'm watching on TV rather than a stream. Maybe that's why. Rubbish kick. Yeah, no, that wasn't his best. Ringrose's captain is controversial, but he must have been showing something on the training ground. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they're just grooming him as like a future captain. Don't know. It's hard to say, but it does seem kind of in the deep end, man. For a final. Upset. Still early days, man. 7 minutes gone. 5-0. Still early days. Anyone in the UK know where to watch live top 14 matches? From what I've seen, they're a lot of fun. Aren't they on Sky in the UK? You know, someone will have to let us know. Hopefully a good close game. Yes, I hope so as well. As long as it's within 7 with like 5-10 minutes to go, that'll make for a hell of a finish. Burns kicked that time. He could have marked it, Lowry, but he didn't. You're 20 seconds behind me. Big Will, how did your strut go after last night's game? Opinions on Cooney dropped. He's just not been informed, man. He's just been a bit off his game. I think, personally. Mathewson came on last week. Made a bit of a difference, so yeah. Right, Leinster got a line out. Inside Ulster's half. See if they can actually add a period of pressure here. Looks like 10-5 on the board. I'll move that over a touch. There you go. Oh, it's better, doesn't it? Oh, Big Will's making breakfast. Good man. Broken sleep is right, though. My bloody daughter was up half the night. Don't you know Dad's got to get up to watch rugby in the morning? Come on, girl. Nothing like a great game to get the adrenaline going. Yes, if there's something that's going to wake me up, it's a bit of good rugby. And a try within the first 5 minutes certainly didn't harm that. Leinster have gone 13 phases. This is the Leinster that you know and love. They can just recycle the ball again and again and again and again. But they've gone into touch. Good defence. Ulster's going to need a good exit. Oh, no, they got the ball back. What happened there? Why did Leinster put Sexton on the bench? I guess because the Champions Cup's still coming. Line out time. Leinster got. Oh, my son's here. Come on.
Want to watch the rugby?
Yeah, you can watch the rugby. I'll put the blanket on you.
Yeah, so I don't get too cold.
That's right. Today we've got the blue team and the white team.
Which one's your favorite?
Which colour's your favourite is a good question.
The blue team.
You like the blue team? Leinster fan. They've got the ball. They might be going to score here. All they've got to do is get the ball over that line and put it down. And Craig says good morning to you.
Good morning.
Try time. James Lowe. They got it. There you go. Your blue team got a try.
Which one's your favorite team? The blue team?
If you like the blue team, I can support the blue team.
Oh.
Well, we've got 2 tries within like 12 minutes, so can't complain. James Lowe is an absolute beast. As a Welshman, I'm terrified he'll qualify for Ireland. It can't be long now until he's qualified, eh? Well, that one that's just a team effort, that one. Gibson Park with the good pass. Is he going to kick this kick? What do you think?
Yes, so.
You think so? It's a hard one.
Why?
It's from kind of to the side. It's not in the front. Come on, Ulster. James Lowe, what a player indeed. So hard to stop that many ball carriers. Exactly, Owen. Too easy. That's what they do. Up Tasman after Canterbury. Hopefully an open game is on the cards. Not too bad so far. Ross Byrne has...
He got over it.
He got it. What's a kick? What a kick. Great conversion. Boys back at rugby training tomorrow, Tim. Good. He'll be looking forward to that. My kids were able to go to their rugby class yesterday as well. The parents have to be socially distanced, but the kids are allowed to do their thing. Penalty to Leinster. Well, there's a wee bit of momentum going Leinster's way at the minute. He can't wait, I'll bet. I'm in Ireland watching this on Irish TV. How are you a minute ahead of me? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe the stream works better downhill. I don't know. Oh, goodness me. Two Cents Junior already playing footy. They play a game. It's like an indoor one with like he uses like a little mini rugby ball. They just practice like some basic skills like kicking and catching, passing, like running with the tags to avoid attackers and stuff. Yeah, it's good fun. Man, Ulster's under heaps of pressure. Good exit needed.
Is this really rugby?
Yeah, this is really rugby. What did you think it might be?
This
Yeah.
rugby seems like baseball to me.
This rugby seems like baseball to my son. You're too used to watching New Zealand rugby, you think maybe? Cooney's on the bench. Cooney's on the bench. Seems more entertaining than the last Leinster game. Already, it's been pretty good. But that exit from Ulster's not done them any favours. They've only got it about 6 metres out from their own goal line. Oh, but the line out, they've messed it up. That's horrendous. Chance missed there. Oh, man, and Stockdale's just won the ball in the air. Here we go. You don't see two mistakes often in a row from Leinster. Ulster got to do something. New rule, Pro 14 equals baseball. Yep, that's it. Why don't we do a Northern Hemisphere based Southern Hemisphere players versus the Super Rugby players? That could be a good video. And now Leinster's conceded a penalty. Jeez. Okay. I feel like if Ulster had conceded points there from that line out, it might have been a long day at the office, but they've managed to swing the momentum back the other way with some good play. Happy days. Yeah.
Which planet is that on?
Which planet?
Yeah.
Planet Earth. So same as us. We're all on the same planet. But the country, I guess, is Ireland. It's kind of close to where Julian lives. The same continent, because he's in Germany. Yeah, so quite far from us. Like, it's the nighttime over there. Is it nighttime here?
No.
What is it?
But I can see there's quite bright.
Yeah, because they've got big lights on.
Nighttime over there.
Yeah. Who's the 7 for Leinster? That's Josh van der Fleer, which is a Dutch name rather than South African. He is, I think, about as Irish as it gets. It's nearly another planet away, I agree. Almost. Come on, Stockdale. He's got a big old smile on his face. Oh, and then he gets tackled straight up, but not brought down. He looks like he's having a ball. Him and James Lowe going head to head. That's a little battle within itself, isn't it? Oh, hands from Ulster. Goodness me. Come on, get some support in there.
Why the ref is there?
The ref's there to tell them not to break the rules. Time to get the globe out. Yeah, I know. Ulster's offloading is great. I agree. Leinster won it at the breakdown, though. They are just deadly there. It's like me explain my boy Wii U. in the world. Yeah, basically. Matthewson, Henderson. Time in New Zealand, it's almost 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 6:56. It's going to be heartbreaking for Ulster. So much pressure, so much regret for no points. Yeah, you feel like they're going to need to go down that end and pick up 80 points when they can. Because they kind of got out of jail the last time Leinster were down their end, but you can't guarantee that happening every time.
Dad,
Yeah.
why the ball is so tiny?
Why the ball is tiny?
Yeah.
It's just a normal size rugby ball.
Can I see? It's actually like a hockey ball.
No. It's way bigger than that. Way bigger.
And the one that hockey plays is not really like a ball.
Nah, the one they play with hockey is a puck, so it's like a flat little disc. Because they use sticks to hit it instead of using their hands.
Instead of just leaning down and slipping it away. Because the side of your hand might be a little bit cold by then.
The only team that can barge over Leinster to score a try is prime Saracens. Ulster can't get anywhere doing that. Rob Herring's going off, which is not good news. Maybe HIA? He's blinking like he's taking a knock. Leinster v Exeter right now, yeah, that'd be a good matchup. We still could see that in the Champions Cup, right?
Dada,
Yeah.
what's that? What was that black thing on the ground?
Oh, they've stolen another line out. Black thing on the ground.
Yeah.
I missed it.
That.
Oh, the Guinness Pro 14. That's like the sponsor. Remember how on all the racing cars they have sponsors? In rugby, sometimes they put a sponsor on the ground. They're asking people to buy that beer. Do you think I should buy that beer? No?
No.
Okay. Not a Guinness fan.
No. What trans?
10:30 a.m. in Iceland. You're not in Iceland, are you? You can't be in Iceland. No one's ever told me they're watching from Iceland before. What are you doing? Man, Ulster are getting brutalized at the breakdown. It's another penalty. They need quicker ball than that. Don't buy it, Guinness is rotten. Yeah. Iceland is icy. Is What Now still going in New Zealand? Nah, What Now I don't think has been a thing for a while. Not as far as I'm aware. Man, hell of a kick for touch. It's like 8 meters out. Leinster line out. They need to do better at line out time though. It's not been great. They go to the front, which is probably smart. They got advantage. That's all they need. They'll blow it up. Leinster will have another crack at it. (8 p.m. in the UK. Ireland and the UK are same time zone, hey? Kind of no surprise. Leinster going for 5 metre line out.
Did I?
Yeah.
That sponsor's not very good.
That sponsor's not very good. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Because it's making more people fat.
Oh, true. Beer does make you a bit fat if you drink too much of it, eh?
Yeah. So.
This time that Moore looks to have gone to ground. Nope. Still up. This time. Van der Vlier's got it. They got advantage again by the look of things. Ulster got to be careful here. Back for the penalty.
I guess that's sort of because the trophy is not really a real trophy. It's actually a bottle of beer.
There's a real trophy in this game though, because this one's a final.
But what if the trophy is bet and the real trophy?
Right, third time. Leinster are going to take the 3. It's pretty much straight out in front. A little bit of a release, I think, for Ulster because they were under a ton of pressure. I would have said if they'd kept conceding penalties, they might have been in line for a warning for a yellow, but this time they're going to opt out. But it is 3 points right out in front, so you'd be kind of mad not to take them.
Now look, one of the blue teams are in the lead.
That's right. The blue team is in the lead. Can you see the score?
No.
It's in the top left-hand corner. See, there's a 10.
Yeah.
And then next to it is a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue team has 10 points. The white team has 5.
Now the blue team have more.
They do.
Guess they're stronger.
Two cents trying to get me off beers, maybe.
It said it's only a competition.
Our penalty's still worth 90. That rule never quite caught on as much as my boy wanted it to. That's why it was a good watch. The Lions tour in South Africa. It's only an hour time difference, not like the bloody World Cup. It was struggle to down a beer at 6 a.m. I did not have that problem at all. It was quite a time zone that worked for New Zealand. Oh man, here you go, Ulster again. What's happening to Leicester at line-out time? Ab Matthewson wants a penalty, and he gets it. Shout long enough for the ref, you'll get it. Not rolling away.
Why? Means it's rolling away.
Once you tackle a guy, you got to roll away. You can't just stay on the ground. Billy Burns with the kick, and it's a good one. Ulster are going to be 7 metres out. They could certainly use a score here.
But how many points do each team have?
Remember, the blue team's got 10, the white team's got 5.
So the blue team
Is winning.
Yeah. I bet they'll win because it's gonna take a long time for the white team to catch up.
Maybe. They got a chance here. They're only a couple metres away. McCloskey's close. They got him held up. It's going to be a maul. No, tackle. Spin it, guys. Spin it. No, the forwards want it.
What are the forwards?
The forwards are usually the bigger guys, and the backs are the faster guys. Too slow. Too slow. Champions Cup live streams. I probably will, man. If I can get up. If the games are on at a reasonable hour.
If the blue team wanted to win and the white team were faster, they could just spring their arms out and push them over.
They might. Oh, there you go. They've won another penalty at the breakdown.
Well, now how many?
They don't get any points for it, but they get the ball back. Brutal. Brutal, brutal.
But what if the blue team get 100 points?
If the blue team get 100 points, then the white team will probably sack their coach. The blue team are so good. They are. They are very good. It's not the arm wrestle we feared yet. Nah, it's been alright thus far. We'll take it. Couple of tries. Both wingers as well. But that breakdown for Leinster is killing Ulster at the moment. Pollard got injured. Yeah, didn't Pollard go to hospital in his most recent game? Jeez, at this rate, Ulster's going to be without a hooker. It's not good.
What's a hooker?
It's one of the positions.
Why?
It just is. Rob Andrew, is it? Is his name Rob Andrew? No, his surname's Andrew. Herring looks like he's going to come back on. Jeez, that's a long HIA. Scans on Monday for his knee. Jeez. I was sort of a snob to the Premiership, one-eyed Super Rugby fan, but I'm loving it. Bit of humble pie for me. But good rugby being played by the Poms. Good man. Wouldn't like to meet Porter in a dark alley after the look he gave the camera. No.
Did I?
Yeah.
I saw one of the blue teams bowled over a white team.
You reckon? Man, their line-out is shocking at the moment. Goodness me, it must be less than 50%, surely. Yeah, Blair, you're right. It is shocking.
And so rough. And so rough there is.
Let's have a look. The line-out is what? 4 from 7. Yeah, not good. Just over half. John Andrew. Jeez, Rob Andrew. Who's Rob Andrew? Blew out his knee. They're waiting for scans to confirm how long he'll be out. Don't see him playing in the Rugby Championship. It's bad news. Current lineups, that's 4-1, 4 lost. Okay, so it's 50-50.
What do they both have for?
The blue team's lineout's not very good.
What's a line out?
When they throw it in from the side and they have to try and catch it, usually teams catch most of them, but they're only catching about half of them, which is pretty bad.
Well, I saw one of the blue teams push over one of the red teams.
That was last week. I think you're going to have to go have breakfast now, buddy. Go on, have your breakfast.
Watch rugby.
You watch rugby after breakfast, go.
Because you've only just started it?
It's only been half an hour.
So is that not long?
Not too long. Do you want to say bye to everybody?
Bye.
If Leinster get this line-out sorted, they could be out of reach. Yeah, exactly. It's costing them, man. It's keeping Ulster in the game for the minute. Likewise, I guess, though, if Ulster get their ball secure at the breakdown, which is maybe easier said than done, they'd be in a better position to put some points on the board, but they just keep surrendering at the moment. Lam has knocked it on. Just inside Ulster's half. Come on, Ulster. Do something. That's one phase. I can see Saracens targeting Leinster's line out. Yeah, at the moment, hey. Oh, Little's kept it in play. Jeez, that's good work. The line speed from Leinster is brutal. Matthewson's going to have to do something. Take a sniping run like he just did. Do you want to put some kicks through? I know you don't want to give Leinster the ball back, but I don't know if going through phases in the forwards is the answer, because you know eventually you're going to get turned over. Well, that being said, as soon as I say that, Ulster have won a penalty at the breakdown. Does anyone want to tell 2 Cents Junior to go get breakfast and take it to the room where you're watching? Nah, he has breakfast out in the dining room, kitchen. No breakfast in the lounge. I was going to make a bloody mess everywhere. I'll have to clean it up. Hearing is back on. Geez, that's like the longest HIA. That must have been almost 20 minutes. Right, Ulster going for touch rather than a shot at 3. And Billy Burns his kick. Not the best. Conan needs to move away quicker. 3 penalties from him. Everyone else is doing alright. Porter and Doris and whatnot. But yeah, he does. Oh, Leinster have just ripped it out, but no, they've done it illegally. That's Healy that's been penalised. What do they do here? Kick for touch again? They're going for touch. Kickable one, but with a bit of angle. I'm watching this match on TG4 in Ulster, but the Irish part of Ulster, it's a wet night, hard work. Yeah. Right, this time Ulster is like 6 meters from Leinster's line. They win the line out. The maul is going nowhere. Use it once. Still going nowhere. They're going to have to get it out. Oh, it's gone to Custard. But Albie Matthewson's got it. McCloskey, 4 meters out. Leinster are trying to go for those kind of choke tackles, eh? Trying to hold them up. They want them all. They keep going to the first man to the side, but no, Leinster's defence is not looking like Brent Birkin at the minute. Bit of a shocking pass. And sure enough, it's knocked on. That was a bit of a stinker. Billy Burns just threw it to Hume's feet. Oh, that's a shocker. Absolute let off. Oh, absolute let off. Should have gone for the 90, maybe. Should have taken the 3. Should have taken the 3. Yeah. Might be right. At no point in that did Leinster's defence look like breaking. You're right. It was rock solid. What's the weather like? It looks alright. Doesn't look like there's any rain. Handling's been not too bad. Leinster scrum in their own 22. And they've won a penalty. Jeez. That's a free exit for Leinster. That's not what Ulster needed. Not too far from half time now, almost 39 minutes on the clock. Becoming a bit of an arm wrestle, it is. It is. Leinster defence on top. Ulster have to take the points when they're on offer. Leinster's like Fort Knox. Seeming that way. Bloody quick to give that penalty. It was. It was. He didn't even give them a moment's notice. They hadn't really even started pushing. Imagine not bringing Tona to the World Cup. Still can't get over it. Yeah. He's an ultimate security option at line-out time, that's for sure. And great maul defence. What can you say? He's a big lad. Rain on the way for the second half. Let's hope not, but we'll see. I was preparing myself for 6 scrum resets, not to be. 20 seconds to go, first half. Leinster will keep going through phases. You can see them maybe taking one shot at sticks before half time. If they can retain a bit of position, which they like to do. 40 minutes is on the clock. Next stoppage, and that'll be it. Lowe had a bit of a bobble, but he still retained possession. Now, Burns had a bit of a bobble, but they still maintained possession. Check the radar. Weather's fine. Good. Oh, Ulster have got it. Just kick the thing out, man. No, they see some space, and it's gone. It is a final, right? Surely you kick it out. You're in your own half. You've seen how many turnovers you've conceded to Leinster. If they turn you over, they're going to kick a penalty. No? Okay. And Mathewson was listening because he has hoofed it for touch. Thank goodness for that. Easy thing to say at home with a beer. You have to throw the ball and take chances against Leinster. I feel like Ulster have looked more dangerous when they have been throwing it to the backs and just offloading like crazy. Just trying to bust it up through the forwards is not getting anywhere. James, he did hear me. Nothing good was going to come of that, man. Leicester's defence wasn't like opening up at all. Mosquitoes in Spain are killing you. I hope the weather's good though. Time for a brandy and coke. Very South African drink, from what I understand. Half time. She started off with a hiss and a roar. Fair to say, it slowed down a bit in that kind of second half of the first half. How much Mighty 10 did I watch? I didn't watch any of the games in full, to be honest, because I had the kids about for most of the day. I watched part of Auckland, Otago. I watched a bit of Waikato and Wellington, and I had a nap because I was bloody exhausted through Tasman and Counties. I watched like a couple of minutes of it, and then on the couch, I just nodded off like a proper old man. Ulster needs to hit it up in the middle of the field to split the Leinster wall of defence. Yeah, well, hitting it through the forward certainly ain't doing much, is it? Halftime stats, run meters, 85 to Leinster, 169 to Ulster. Position, 44-56 to Ulster. Territory, 53-47 to Leinster. So that's the thing. You can have the ball as much as you want. You can have all those run meters, but if you're doing it in your own half, doesn't matter. The line out is 5 from 9 for Leinster and 5 from 5 for Ulster. That's a big difference. Tackling percentage, 91% Leinster, 95% Ulster. 86 made by Leinster, 97 made by Ulster. Penalties conceded 4-8, with Ulster having conceded more. Is Sexton injured? Nah, he is just riding the pine. Ulster looking tired. Bench to come on within 10 minutes of the second half. I would imagine they'll start bringing some of them on. Yeah. It's been tough going. Tough going thus far. Came out of the blocks pretty quick. Oh, Mark. Cheers, man. Leinster can only get better in the second half. Well, you got McGrath to come on. You got Sexton to come on. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised, man. We'll have to wait and see. Cheers, man. I hope you're enjoying it. Bit of a shock early, but your team's kind of exerting a bit of power, as they like to do. Big Vet shows off to sleep. All right, man. Have a good one. I'm going to have my second cup of coffee in a cup which Mark Dunphy would approve of. Cheers, Mark. Pro 14 champs versus Super Rugby New Zealand champs versus Super Rugby Australia, then the Premiership, then the French. Who comes out on top? Basically, who's the best club team? Oh, man. Is it the Crusaders? They got beaten by the Hurricanes. Is it Leinster? Nobody's beaten them in ages. Ask me after the Champions Cup. Wait for the Saffers. Yeah, we need to get the South Africans back involved. That's true. The Sharks were looking pretty bloody tidy before lockdown. Sada says King Yami. Leinster would win that one. They're such a hard team to break down. But Scott Robertson's a smart coach, man. I reckon he would find some way to exploit some space. Heineken Cup always shows the best in Europe. Exactly right. Remember, Ulster had a crappy first half against Edinburgh and then an exceptional second half. Let's go, Ulster. Yeah, they haven't looked as good in the first half, and yet they are still within touching distance. So, yeah, we could see. Leinster are too good for the Pro 14, but not good enough for Super Rugby. Ooh. Leinster do all right in the Champions Cup as well. I don't know why, but of all the games they're showing, they're showing like Super Rugby from about 15 years ago on at half time here. I guess there's no other rugby on. La Liga, pass. NBA, Speedway, PGA. I think I'll just leave it on the rugby, even if it's when Tony Brown was a player rather than a coach. Leinster are normally better in the second half, in my opinion. Toulouse looked pretty sharp. I didn't see the score. I haven't seen any of the top 14 at all thus far, to be honest. A few weeks back, Crusaders and Leinster did a study for one another, presented how they would approach the game. Yeah, that would be... maybe that's a first step into that kind of game. All the ex-Leinster guys on the Ulster match could have a big impact on the game, ironically. Yeah, the likes of Cooney and Madigan. Leinster not good enough for Super Rugby. Yeah, we forget Super Rugby's got some pretty ordinary teams in it as well. It's a rich tapestry of brilliant and less than. Likewise, the Pro 14, to be honest. Racing 92 don't look too shabby. They're just the ultimate team, right? Like, they're the ultimate risk-reward team. Like Finn Russell and Teddy Tamar and stuff on the same team. Like, come on. Leinster and Crusaders spent COVID downtime sharing resources, strategies, and exercises, showing each other how they would break each other down. That's just what we need, right? The two of the best teams in the world trying to get better from learning from each other. Why couldn't they share something with the Blues? Why aren't they asking the Blues what we're doing? Why are the Leinster lineout so poor when you have Toner there? That's a good question. They keep bloody not throwing to him, eh? They've thrown to Conan at least a couple of times, like in the front, to secure it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Pro 14 is secondary to Champions Cup. Generally wouldn't put too much weight into this performance so far, to be honest. Obviously still need to win the match, though. Yes. When you can bench some of your starting guys for a final, I guess that's pretty indicative. Risk reward teams are either very entertaining or blooming frustrating to watch. Yeah, the Blues have been like that for many years, especially back in the days of like Carlos Spencer trying to run the ball out of their own 22. Sometimes you go length of the field, score a try, and other times, not so much. Do you think people consider Exeter the legitimate champs without playing a full-strength series in the semis or the final? I reckon. You got to stay within the rules, man. If your team's above the salary cap, then you can't compete in the finals, right? That's the rules. Never going to be an easy game for Leinster. Ulster have no pressure at all and can give absolutely everything considering their last game of the season. True. Ulster can throw everything at it. And they're the underdogs. I would love to see Exeter versus Leinster. That would be an equal and epic clash. I think that would... Ooh, would that be a fan's favourite? Maybe Racing 92 against Leinster. That would be a contrast of styles. Both Leinster and Ulster fans claiming they play best in the second half. We should be in for a cracking second half. Frank, let's hope you're right, man. Let's hope you are right. Next minute, nobody scores a point in the second half. How about the Lions playing Argentina in Port Stanley for a tour warm-up game? Argentina, I think, would like to get in on the Lions stuff, eh? That's such a big money earner. Yeah. If they could be the team that gets one warm-up game every time, that could work great. Ulster still have Champions Cup rugby. That's true. Didn't they have a trip to France? Yes, Scott, with an away trip to lose. Yeah, I thought so. I was thinking, yeah, actually, that's right. Leinster have never beat the Cheetahs in Bloemfontein. Wow. That's a stat. Ulster need to cut taking stupid penalties and start taking three. You might be right, man. Although, what people often say against the Crusaders is you'll never beat them in threes. Can you beat Leinster in threes? Maybe. First 15 minutes were good. The first 15 minutes were probably the best of the game. That's true. What's it been like standard-wise in New Zealand with the return to rugby? A bit mixed. Like, Super Rugby outside I think was mostly pretty good. We had a couple of matches that weren't that fantastic. One particular real stinker. But I think mostly alright. The Aussie games have gotten better over time. Right, players are back out on the pitch. I can see Bristol spanking these two. Fleshing. And your Scarlets. Goodness me. As much as Leinster deserved to win the Pro 14, I'd really like to see Ulster do it because of an underdog thing. Yeah, I mean, Mark Dunphy kind of converted me into a bit of a Leinster fan, but I got to admit, seeing Ulster win it would be a pretty special moment, wouldn't it? So, yeah. Didn't the British and Irish Lions beat the Satyrs the threes? Goodness me, what's a memory. Yeah, I think they did actually. Although the Crusaders aren't usually the ones being challenged by the British and Irish Lions. Pro 14 is starting back again in 3 weeks, which is what the final seems a bit weird. Like I mentioned it in the preview, it seems weird to be playing a final and then you're about to start the season again, but it's weird times we're living in, I guess. Back end of Super Rugby AU has been good. The first half was ordinary. There were a few stinkers. It took them a while to get into the scheme of things. Not all the early ones were bad, but there was kind of more like average games than good games. And then the second half was the other way around. Second half of the season's been really, really good. We are 41 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Ulster got a scrum in their own 22. As always, a good exit would be welcome. McCloskey runs it straight at Byrne. Good meterage. Here we go for Billy Burns. Decent kick. Van der Fleer is just like a pocket rocket, eh? He just wants to rip into whoever's got the ball. Oh, I say pocket rocket. I don't think he's that small. He's like a rocket out the line. If Leinster score from here, they've won the game. You can't see Ulster coming back by more than try. But that being said, at this point last week, I think it was like 12-0 to Edinburgh. And I was like, no way Ulster are scoring more than 12 points. And then they did. But then again, Edinburgh's not Leinster. Super Rugby AU took its time, but last week's have been good. Exactly, Chris. The funny thing about AU is being able to get more fans in with the limitations than previous years without. I honestly think the Aussie teams playing each other has been good for the game. Because they've all been beating each other. The Brumbies beat the Reds, Reds beat the Brumbies. Brumbies beat the Rebels, Rebels beat the Brumbies. Reds and the Rebels drew, Reds beat the Rebels. Like, that's what you need. Relative parity, eh? Conversations with your mates who support the other team. I don't know. Don't know. We are not Edinburgh. Yep, that was my first reaction as soon as I said it, to be honest. Very different. Aussie Com's a great watch. Proper rugby and loads of skills. Yeah. I'll be watching Bristol and Sarries game. They look like playing as second string teams, but still be worth a watch. When's that game on? Tomorrow? Ross Burns kicked it. He's kicking pretty well, isn't he? Had heaps of meters to go. Where are most of your viewers from? Got a better turnout for this game than Reds Rebels. It's a bit of a mix, man. It's a bit of a mix. New Zealand. I think it's usually New Zealand, South Africa, UK, Ireland, and Australia. That's always the top 5. Yeah, it's always the top 5. Time check, we are at 45:15. Ulster are just short of the halfway line. They've gone like 3 or 4 phases. Let's see whether that prediction about them bringing on their subs early rings true or not. Remember, they've only got 2 backs on the bench. Oh, that could be the game, people. That could be the game. Look at that. Henshaw with some proper wheels. That's trouble. I reckon bring Madigan on for Burns, man. He's not having a good game. He just shovels it, and Henshaw is away. Oh, man. Yeah, it was an intercept, Liam. Billy Burns' pass just picked it off. Cheers, Ulster. Thanks for coming. Yep. What was that? 45. It's looking a long way back now. Yeah, playing catch-up rugby against Leinster is generally not what you want to be doing. 100 points is back on, maybe, mate. You may be right. Madigan is a far better and natural player to Billy. Not sure why he didn't start. Yeah, maybe they were looking Billy to add a bit of spark at the death. But yeah. Henshaw started out as an under-21 Gaelic footballer. No way. How well do Gaelic footballers get paid compared to rugby players? Not an Ulster fan, I'm a Coetzee fan. Marcel Coetzee is one of my favourite players, but he's just gone off. Him and LB Matthewson have just been substituted. Will Alderson is injured, yeah, unfortunately. They don't get paid. What the hell? Isn't Gaelic football like massive? I've never seen a game. I've seen AFL in Australia, and I know those guys earn more than rugby players in Australia. Are you serious? They don't get paid. Leinster bench isn't that strong. Fardy, Sexton, Cronin, McGrath, Connors. Actually, never mind. Yeah. Oh, God. Here goes get James Lowe. Offload. Gibson Park. Ross Byrne. Lama beating tackles. This is going to be try time, surely. They're like 4 meters out. This could get messy. They're amateurs, bro. Seriously. The officials get paid, but the players only get expenses. Bro. In Australia, AFL, those guys get big time money. Leinster have turned it up. They have. If Ulster are not careful, they could get a bit of a hiding here. Oh, go Little. Oh, he can't get away. Little with the intercept. That would have been interesting if he'd gone length of the field, but not to be. They get good status in the community. They tend to get given jobs. Jeez, man, it's like a blast from the past. That's like rugby, what it used to be a long time ago. Man, Little just couldn't take it, but I think James Lowe had him anyway. That's why you get Irish players in the AFL. I'm just thinking like that's why we used to get rugby union players switching to rugby league when league players used to get paid and rugby players like didn't. It's like the last days of amateur rugby. Boot money and jobs, man. AFL and Gaelic football similar, yeah, which is why I just assumed Gaelic football got paid like the way they did in AFL. Oh, here goes Ringrose. He's brought down. Quick ball from Leinster, man. Their recycle speed is massive here. I think they've knocked it on there though. No. Okay. Hearing a bird in the background. Yeah, there's bloody sparrows that sit on the windowsill up there. Better than magpies, admittedly. I don't mind sparrows. Oh, Ulster have got out of jail for a massive period of pressure. Van der Fleer, yeah, man. Van der Fleer is definitely under instructions to just bolt and run at whoever is the first receiver for Ulster and put them under as much pressure as possible. Looks like Madigan's coming on. Oh, and someone was just talking about, I think it was you, Owen, complaining about Cian Healy, and he's just been substituted. So there you go. Cause and effect. Tommy Bowe started off in Gaelic football too, is that right? How many guys switched to union, like, because of money? Oh man, Lama is so elusive. The Ulster guys are slipping off a few tackles, which they weren't doing in the first half. They might be getting tired. In Ireland, you play Gaelic football for the pride of the county where you're from and to get an All-Ireland final in front of 80,000 fans. That's what it used to be like in rugby union, to be fair. Van der Veer's playstyle is just hard work and smacking full pelt into the first person he can see. Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? He's got a hell of a work rate, it must be said. So Kiwi, bro, yeah, I'm good. Thank you, sir. Billy Burns has gone off. Madigan's come on. 15-point deficit. He's got some magic to work this week. But I guess it was 12 points last week, like I mentioned. Bit of a bigger deficit this time and against the better team. But they've won a penalty. Good stuff. 39 likes so far. Man, thank you, Jonathan. I always forget to mention that kind of stuff. Drop us a like. If you can. Healy hasn't got the same ball carrying ability he used to. That might be right. It happens to a lot of guys as you get older. "55 minutes. Oh, and Leinster have conceded another penalty, seemingly. They got advantage. They're going to spin it. Just chuck it round, man. Yeah, back for the penalty. Liam's calling tonight. All right, man, take care. "46 likes now. Good stuff. Appreciate that, fellas. Hi from the USA. How's it going? Ulster got a chance down the right end of the field now. Leinster loves a wraparound even without Sexton. That's probably fair. Right, come on, Ulster. Be the next scorer. Make it a bit interesting. Can Ulster go for threes now? I guess you can take one to bring it back within 2 scores, but you probably got to go 7. Still listening in from Ireland. Good man. Big Will's going to get some sleep. All right, man. Take care. Take care of your missus. From Edinburgh. Supporting Ulster after last week or wanting to see them vanquished? Okay, Ulster actually look the business at the moment. After surviving that horrendous period of pressure, they got their tails up. But they need to get some points to show for it. Otherwise, it's going to be all for naught. Come on, Ulster, score a try. Yes. Let's go. McCloskey is taken by Henshaw. 10 phases. That will be among as many as they've gone all game. Usually Leinster have managed to turn them over. Madigan. Come on, they keep recycling. Cooney thought about going left, but nah, too many blue jerseys, not enough white ones. Van der Fleer wants that ball, and he has got it by the look of things. All the rugby nations have such tiny populations except for England. France is pretty big. All for nothing. Yeah, I feel like that is, yeah, pretty costly. Savage defense. It's just so hard to break down, man. Yeah. They can just tackle and tackle and tackle all day long. Sexton's come on. Ross Burns going off. Does this mean, because Ringrose is captain, if they win, does he lift the trophy, or is it like the club captain rather than the matchday captain that lifts the trophy? I can't imagine it's not going to be Sexton, right? Pretty sure Sexton will lift it. I would have thought so. Yeah, maybe both. Like, often there's times when the club captain is injured for the final, and then the matchday captain lifts it alongside the club captain, right? Toner is getting some treatment. Vardy looks like he's going to come on in place of Toner, which means James Ryan will do the 80. Very small rugby playing population here in Ireland. Gaelic football and soccer more popular. Makes sense. That's one thing New Zealand's got, is a pretty big rugby population despite our size. Both to lift the trophy. Maybe we're getting a step ahead of ourselves, I guess, because Ulster's not out of it, but bloody hell, they need 3 scores. It seems unlikely at the minute. Player base is the key stat. Like Six Nations, Scotland have the smallest player base. Exactly right. I'm not sure if it's still true, but I remember some stat that Scotland years ago had like the same player base as like the South Island of New Zealand, or might have been Canterbury in New Zealand. But I mean, we're talking. I would have heard that like 15 years ago. But I just thought, like, yeah, you can't just straight compare populations because it doesn't work that way. Man, Ulster are gone 10 phases, but they're going backwards. Just can't get around. Leinster to Bayern Munich rugby. Seemingly so, mate. Seemingly so. They just don't lose. New Zealand does have 3 of the best academies in Tonga, Fiji, and Samoa. That's an Eddie Jones line. And I think even Eddie knows that's probably not as true as the stereotype. I've done a couple of videos about where players were born, and most of our players are born in New Zealand, I think. Most of them. Gaelic football is good, completely amateur, still you love both. I literally only found out that it was still amateur in this stream. That will be one of the rare sports. Do guys play? What do they do in the off season? They have to work. Oh, it's out on the full. How's that fat lady doing? She's in the other room warming up. Or is she already singing? Lalala, Tunga, Fussy, Frizzell, and Reese, the only ones born outside of New Zealand Rugby World Cup, just 4. Yeah, and like Tunga Fussy was here for like, he was head boy at his high. He came to New Zealand when he was like 14. I don't think it was a rugby scholarship either. I'm pretty sure he just immigrated here. So, 14 years old. I think we can claim him. Probably. My neighbour plays county. He works as a banker. There's some commitment to give that level they play at 100%. They work all the time and train at night. Holy moly, that's commitment, man. That's madness. That doesn't happen in the world anymore. How is that still happening in 2020? Kudos to those guys. That's amazing. Fat Lady is singing. Leinster taking the title for the 3rd time in a row. game is too predictable. Rugby in Scotland is a 50-50 split. More people play in Devon than the whole of Scotland. So much hope for Ulster early with that first try, but no points since. "64 minutes, 15 seconds. Like, there's still time, but they'll need more points in 15 minutes than they've scored in 64. Seems unlikely. Leinster is just going to keep them hemmed down their own end. She's brutal. Paying attention to the Russian comp? Nah, bro, I actually haven't. I meant to watch it. That's the trouble with having two young kids. Is they require a lot of my time. I watch as much rugby as I can, but try not to neglect my children. That being said, my daughter was driving me out the wall last night. I wanted to throw her out, but you can't do that. Hell of a kick, yeah, man. She's brutal. It's live streamed on YouTube, the Russian comp. Yeah, man, I'd love to watch it. I just run out of time, which is a poor excuse, but I watch as much as I can, all things considered. Man. Just brutal. Even at 66 minutes, those Leinster guys want that ball. How dare you put your children first? I know, right? I feel bad sometimes, though. Like, when I want to do, like, a match preview, my son will be like, can we play? And I'll be like, just let me do this video. Then we can play. Sometimes I feel a bit guilty, but it's usually only for, like, 20 minutes, and then I'll be done. I think Leinster are going to score. They're like a meter out. Oh, maybe. Oh, Ulster have got another penalty. They're hanging on by a thread. Jeez. They're not giving up. Credit to them. They haven't just rolled over. Some teams go 15 points down and they just heads drop, stop making tackles, stop getting turnovers. Like, Ulster are still trying to compete. First stream, Jan, how's it going, man? Leinster are doing what Leinster do. They have been an absolute machine. Ringrose has gone off. O'Loughlin's come on. So that'll make Sexton captain for the final few minutes. Another penalty for Ulster. Bloody farty, eh? Chuggers alike, says Joseph. Yeah, bro. If you guys could do that, I would appreciate it. Always helps out. YouTube's algorithm and whatnot. Come on, Ulster. Give us at least one more score. Please. Wise could see it off. They just subbed him, eh? Oh, they've lost the ball. Van der Fleer's got it. I was hoping Ulster would get at least one more try. Come on, Stockdale. Just run the bastard up. Go. Yeah. Leinster got a penalty. Grim watching Leinster with a decent lead. They're not going to surrender it, eh? You know Leinster, once they've got that lead, they're good for it. He was crawling on the ground and he got penalised. Craig's off to the pub. All right, man. Just end the game and give Van der Fleer the trophy. Yeah, bro. Van der Fleer's been everywhere. He has got such an engine on him. I still feel like he's a bit underrated, to be honest. Islanders got too many good Lucies. Pretty stale game. Leinster just got too comfortable a lead, man. That it's going to play controlling rugby. That Henshaw intercept was, I think, probably the nail in the coffin. But it's not a hiding yet. It could still get that way, but Ulster are still fighting to their credit. I think Doris has just gone over. It's a try. Caelan Doris. It was coming. Well, if there's an engraver for that trophy, you can start working. Josh Van der Fleer is too slight in international rugby. Yeah, he's probably... Quacker Smith gets a bit of that for South Africa. Like, he's quick, he's good at the breakdown, puts other guys under a lot of pressure, but in terms of size, he's a few kicks too light for test matches, at least. That scoreline is looking pretty brutal. Leinster always trust their youth, yeah, man. Ringrose captain, Ross Byrne to start, Gibson Park to start, 27-5. Who would question it? Can't say they didn't deserve it. Yeah, their defence. Their performance is built on defence, and then when they get chances, man, do they take them. Such a good team. I would love to see the Crusaders try and unlock that defence, honestly. Like, Scott Robertson is a bloody smart coach. I'd love to see it. Munster fan has entered the chat. Hope Saris eviscerate Leinster, hate them with a passion. They're a good team, man. I know how you feel. The Crusaders are the same deal down here in Super Rugby. They just keep winning and keep winning and keep winning. Leinster play a bit like South Africa, suck the life out of you, that hit you where it hurts. They're brutal, man. They are brutal. Van der Fleer is one of the best players in 2018 against New Zealand. Very critical turnovers that won the game. He's a top player, man. Like I said, I still reckon he's a bit underrated. 6 minutes to go. I hope Ulster don't concede any more points, because then it'll look like a real hiding. Conic fan, we carry the bags most of the time for the other three. Oh, you guys won it relatively recently, right? Pat Lam? Here's a question mark. Know your Blues through and through. Would you back the Crusaders as a Kiwi side against Leinster? I reckon it will be tight, man. I honestly reckon it would be a tight game. I can see it going both ways. I know New Zealand fans will say, of course the Crusaders will beat them. But man, look at this Leinster team. They're just so good. I think it would be very tight. They're such heavyweights in their own divisions. They hardly ever come up against a team which is like their equal, I guess. I guess that's one good thing about the Champions Cup is Leinster do get a chance to play some other proper heavyweights. We don't get as much of that in Super Rugby. Lamb's doing amazing things at Bristol. Yeah, he used to coach the Blues and couldn't coach them to success, but he moved abroad and had success. So that says more about what's going on at my Blues than what goes on with Pat Lam. Connacht have won the comp more recently than Munster or Ulster. Exactly right. Exactly right. I'm back after crying over Leinster winning again. I can honestly say I know how you feel, man. The Crusaders have won Super Rugby 3 times in a row, and if you count Super Rugby Aotearoa, 4 times in a row. 4 times in a row. I just want to see someone else win it. I don't even care if it's my team. Just somebody else. Anybody. But you can't take away that respect that those teams don't get to the top without some pretty bloody hard work and good player development. And oh, thank God they've given Josh Van der Fleer man of the match. He was everywhere. His mask wearing technique looks pretty piss poor as he sits there in the stands, but playing technique you can't argue. Lucky I got 2 teams. The Hurricanes, right? Wasn't this the same score as when they played last time? Yeah, pretty similar. Pretty similar. 28-10. 27-5. Pretty similar. Five European Cups for Leinster. That will be a good challenge for them. There's still some big teams waiting for them in that competition. Two minutes to go. I'd still like to see Ulster go length of the field and get one more try. If they concede 30 points, not good look. Being a good Scotland rugby fan is learning to use the hurt to make solid sarcastic remarks. when Irish, Welsh, and English teams win anything. Bitterness is our angle. Tough. Tough. John agrees. Leinster's not a fun team to watch. Is this what it looks like when you guys watch the African derbies in Super Rugby? I seem to remember like that South African 2007 team was kind of not always a fun team to watch, right? But they were just so brutally efficient. Was Reese on his way to Scarlets before they cut it? He was on his way to Connacht, I think. And then they cut his contract when he had an incident with the law. "20 seconds to go. Are you going to do a whole Pro 14 season review? Probably not, Otto. I hardly followed the competition before lockdown. I've only just kind of piggybacked on it since the rugby resumed, to be fair. Besides one half of rugby, Ulster been fairly poor since the restart. The second half they had against Edinburgh was very good, but yeah, it's not been the best, has it? And they're finishing it off with a lost line out. That's the game. Brutal. Leinster are just brutal. And they just look so nonchalant, right? Just like, yep, job done. That reaction is just like any other normal win. I feel like if Ulster win this, they're probably bigger celebrations than this, right? Man, unbeaten season. Muted celebrations, to put it mildly. Congratulations, Leinster, man. It's another trophy. Just too good. Man. Just too good. Brutal means bad in Ireland. Really? We can use it in a positive manner. I think in New Zealand. They are a tough team. That's another way of putting it. Bigger fish to fry, hence the muted celebrations. Any ideas what next week will be? I'll have to have a look at the fixtures list. I know Super Rugby Australia's got a final next week, which should be a good game. A grand final at that. And I'm sure there'll be others as well. But alright. Yeah, congratulations, Leinster. 27-5 is pretty convincing. And yeah, unbeaten season. Not done by many. Leinster were brutal, as in they are very tough. I don't know. We use that in New Zealand to mean like strong, I guess. They're brutal. I don't know. Anyway. Alright guys, I am going to head off. I am going to check on my children to make sure they're not misbehaving, and then I will I'll do a quick review of this game. But in a sentence, Leinster, brutal. There you go. Alright guys. You take care, and I'll see you again for another one. See you.